Hello, this is Gamatron, and I'm going to be playing 1943, the Battle of Midway, for the Hard Games thread. First, let's put some points into our attributes here, and get started. Having our P-38 take off from the aircraft carrier. Yeah, I know, the P-38 is not a carrier aircraft, but it's a video game, and I love the P-38, so let's go with it. So, 1943 is kind of a standard shooter. It's based on an arcade game. If you ever see groups of red planes like that, or pink as they may be, make sure to destroy them because they drop power-ups. And if you collect 2 power-ups of the same type, like the spread shot I just picked up, well, they upgrade. The power-ups are essential to completing the game, and it's something I've only done once. That last little kind of energy tank, or tank-looking thing that I just picked up, fuel tank I suppose, just increases your energy, which you can see kind of ticking away in my bottom right-hand corner. Once the energy reaches 0, well, you're in trouble. Hopefully you don't let it get below 20, for reasons you'll see later. This is a Yashichi, a kind of pinwheel-looking thing. You pick it up, and your energy is restored to full. They're kind of rare, but they are usually put in very kind of strategic places. We're going to have our first boss battle in a moment, but first, there's our other ability, this charge shot. If you hold down the fire button for a brief time, you can fire a very powerful, piercing, almost laser-like shot, which does quite a bit of damage and is very, very useful. And these ships here with their turrets are obviously just set up precisely so you can use that ability on them. Here's our first boss. Nothing too difficult, but again, this is just the first level out of, oh, I can't even remember. A couple dozen, maybe? Oh, took a hit. I was gonna try and see if I could get through this boss without getting shot at once. So if you're good with your timing, you can rapid fire your special shot. Kind of like I was doing there. Takes down bosses pretty quickly, as you can tell. Here's our ranking, I guess. We got 100% destructive rate for blowing up every single turret on that ship. And that gives us a bonus 50,000 points. Pretty nice. Going into the second level, we can expect kind of more of the same. Nothing too challenging, just easing you into the game. Establishing concepts, getting you used to the controls and some of the enemy patterns. So as you're playing the game, you may notice your shots, as you saw in the previous level, and striking invisible objects. Those are power-ups. It takes a while to memorize where they all are, or I suppose you could just go spastic and spray bullets everywhere and hope that you find them. But usually you just kind of have to explore, experiment, and find them for yourself. Here we have these squatting bombers. I guess they're bombers, or maybe fighters, attackers, doing squats or dips. That's what I always thought they were doing. And then we have the larger 2-engined bombers that shoot our those little black and white parasite fighters at you, and they're pretty annoying. Aha! A little hay bale, or sack of flour, or even TP, I suppose. I've heard it called several things by friends. You never want to miss those. They add a point that you can use to build up your attributes, which are very important, and I will go into those in more detail later. Oh, that's so satisfying. Just using your charge shot to take out, you know, groups and lines of enemies all at once. As you can see, it's pretty powerful. And it doesn't really lose its usefulness. It was worth the hit there, as the game goes on. Speaking of the power-ups, the spread shot that I'm using is my favorite for several reasons. Not only does it cover a very large portion of the screen, but it also has the unique ability to intercept enemy shots. Whenever one of your shots connects with one of theirs, they kind of negate each other, cancel each other out. Kind of like antimatter and matter, I suppose, just annihilating each other. That's both a blessing and a curse, really. Uh-oh. Okay, you saw my energy get below 20 there. When that happens, you get this really annoying danger music. Kind of like the beeping from The Legend of Zelda when you had one heart left. Really annoying. I'm going to try and keep my energy up, you know, above 20 so you don't have to hear it too often. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the spread shot. A blessing and a curse, because your projectiles do meet with other enemies, and enemy projectiles, and they do, you know, again, cancel each other out, but if it's an enemy that tends to shoot a lot, you know, just obviously spam the area with bullets, they are acting as a kind of shield for themselves, just throwing up tons and tons of lead into the air so that you can't reach them. Your bullets are meeting theirs. Okay, about the, now's a good time, so about the, point system that you saw me putting several points into. You've got a few different categories. The first one is, offensive power. You can probably guess what that does. Just makes your shot stronger, the higher it is. Defensive power, same thing. Negates or, reduces the level of damage that you will take from enemy fighters and, crashing into enemy planes, actually. The second one, or third one actually, is the life meter, essentially. That thing that's constantly ticking away down in the bottom left-hand, or bottom right-hand corner. The more you increase that stat, not only the more do you get from power-ups refilling you, but the higher it'll go, so the more time you have to, say, complete a level, or, you know, not worry about having to pick up power-ups in between certain stages. That life meter is probably the most important thing, as you can probably guess. You never want to waste points on something else if you can avoid it. So I wouldn't put them into defensive power when I've only got 40 life, because at that rate, you know, 5 hits is going to kill me anyway. I don't have the barrier of health points to really shield myself and to make that defensive power a difference. I usually save the defensive power till last, actually. I focus more on just evading the enemy. Speaking of the enemy, are the mother of all bombers here. Not happy with us killing her children, I suppose. It's not too bad. They have, again, the distinct pattern that you can really exploit. Somehow I got 75% there. That might have meant I have missed destroying some other enemies in the previous section before I got to that boss. And if you were wondering that Morse code message that plays at the beginning of every level, I think, is actually CDQ in Morse code, which is an old, out-of-use message essentially saying, I'm in distress. You know, calling anyone out there, it's a distress signal. Which kind of makes sense. The initial or intro cutscene, which I didn't... Oh, fudge! Sorry, I missed that. I missed a power-up that I really wanted. That stream of planes, that red planes that just ran off. They carry a unique power-up. And I think there's only 2 or 3 in the game. If I miss it the second time, then you can yell at me, and I will make a bonus video or something showing off the power-up. They're kind of cool, what that power-up does. I don't want to spoil it right now, though, in case I get it later. Anyway, that Morse code message is, you know, distress signal. And if you let the title screen sit long enough, you'll get this little demo going, showing the aircraft carrier that you're based on being bombed, which, you know, would be a pretty good reason to send out a distress signal. Going back to the special power-ups here, that second to last stat we can put points in is the special weapon. You might think, oh, does that power up the special weapon? No, not really. It actually lets you choose from different types of special weapon. Again, this is my favorite. This is the one I use pretty much the entire game. So I generally don't put points into that until much later as well. The other ones that you can get really aren't anything too spectacular. There's more, you know, spread fire, one that doesn't block bullets but is a little bit stronger than the one I've got here. And then a couple of other different direct, straight shots, like missiles or a heavier type of cannon, which really only looks only mildly different and aren't that interesting, to be honest. Oh, there I go. I say I'm not going to try and get below 20, and look at this. Sorry, we're just going to have to listen to the music for a little bit. And it's getting a little iffy. I may actually use my other power that I haven't shown yet. Nope, guess not, I don't have to. Anyway, I've got one more ability that I haven't shown, and I'm going to see if I can go the whole video without using it. Okay. Mission 5. Oh, I didn't explain the last stat you can put in, and that is Special Weapon Time Limit. Your ammunition pool, essentially. That little W in the bottom corner there constantly ticks down when you have a special weapon. And once it reaches 0, obviously you're out of ammo. And no, not firing will not make that decrease any slower. It's a constant rate. Kind of annoying. But hey, what can you do? So these missions are still pretty simple. I got a little bit carried away on that last mission and wasn't really focusing on dodging too much. Not as much as I should have. But again, the game hasn't really shown us its true colors yet. Remember, this was based off of an arcade game. 1943 was an older arcade game. You can see gameplay videos on YouTube of it. And like all arcade games, it wants you to feed it delicious, delicious quarters. So, if it were too easy, they wouldn't be making their money back. The developers would be essentially, you know, losing a profit on their game if they were too easy. Let's do, yeah, energy level. I really like to have a larger pool of health. Again, not only do I hate hearing that stupid music, it's just a better idea. Oh, gosh. I'm really not doing that great at, not making you hear that music, Well, looks like you're gonna see my, third default or basic ability, and it ties in with the, P-38's kind of, nickname during World War II. Here we go. Yeah, it's a lightning strike. So the P-38 used to be called the Lightning, or at least some versions of it, from what I remember. Yeah, again, the P-38 is probably one of my favorite planes of the era. I actually had a model that I built when I was around 10 or so of the P-38, because I loved it so much, partially from this game. I bet you can't guess what color I painted it, though. It was green. And actually, I think I'm gonna cut the video here. So, thanks for watching. I'll hopefully upload another video soon, and have a good day. Thanks.